Hello everyone, welcome to this review. Today I will present and give you my opinion on the Oxi Instruments choral model. I have been using it for a few days and I'm ready to share with you my impressions about it. So, what is choral? Choral is a sound generator in Eurorack format that stands out for its capabilities, which are rather rare on the world of modular synthesis. Indeed, this one is polyphonic and multitimbral. Polyphonic so it can play chords, for example, or superimpose identical oscillators that we can detune to thicken our sound. And multitimbral because the model can play totally different sounds at the same time, a bit like having X choral at hand. To illustrate, here are two examples of complete pieces made with choral. Inspired by Blade's code from Mutable Instruments, Choral offers 10 specific audio engines, including a wavetable player and a fairly robust sample player, among many other types of synthesis such as MDO, virtual analog, or even string, thus opening up the possible fields. We will see in detail the different models available a little later. Choral therefore offers 8 voice polyphony spread over the 8 parts available. You can therefore have under your fingers 8 different monophonic instruments, 1 voice per part, or 2 instruments with 4 polyphonic voices, or any other combination whose total does not exceed 8 voices. The wall is managed by the MIDI protocol where each part is assigned to a dedicated MIDI channel. It's super practical and rare enough in the wall of Eurorack to be underlined. The setting of the MIDI channels is super easy, like all the manipulations on the choral. Each voice of the model includes a VCA and 2 envelope generators, a low-pass filter plus resonance modulated by the second envelope. The voices also have a double effect engine, a space, a river effect, and chorus, an ensemble chorus type effect. We may regret the lack of parameters for these two effects, even if personally I use them all the time. We can save and recall up to 10 different configurations, and frankly, it works really well, it's super nice. Note that we can recall our presets by sending program change. In addition to full support for MIDI parameters via control change, Corel's interface offers many CV inputs, and you can fully control part parameters via MIDI and component parameters, another part under tension, for example. Each voice has its sound gain and band settings to mix entire songs, as in the examples in above. Congratulations, and so much for the better, because Corel only has stereo output. One would almost dream with a super Corel with 8 mono outputs and stereo mix output. It's important to understand the difference between voice and part. Each voice can be assigned to a specific MIDI channel or shared with others. When two voices share the same MIDI channel, they are grouped together in a part. For example, voices 1, 2, and 3 can be set to a different MIDI channel, and the other 5 voices to the same channel. In total, there will therefore be 3 monophonic parts and a polyphonic part with 5 voices. You can therefore apply different settings to the level of the voices. For example, add reverb to voice 5 while voices 6, 7, and 8 will be dry, or to an entire part. When this concept is integrated, we realize the enormous possibilities of Corel. The global operation of Corel allows quick access to the various functions. To access a particular audio engine, you turn the encoder. These secondary functions are accessible by keeping the encoder pressed and turning the rotary concerned. To access the different voices, press and hold the encoder and then turn this one. The circle of purple LEDs shows us the voice selected for editing. If we turn the encoder again, we come to the selection to the parts, with the ring of turquoise LEDs, which allows us to apply adjustments on the part level.
Pour affecter les entrées CV de la façade à une partie, on enfonce l'encodeur 3 fois, on arrive sur l'anneau de LED pourpre, c'est l'écran d'attribution CV. De cette façon, il est possible de router les tensions CV vers une partie spécifique.
To call up a configuration, you press the encoder once, you arrive on the blue screen, and you can choose from among our 10 available presets. To save a configuration, press the encoder twice, quickly, to reach the pink screen. Choose a location and then validate with the encoder. The rotary only have an effect when the saved value is reached, avoiding value jumps during the game. Corel offers control of all parameters via MIDI. On the screen, the summary table for MIDI management. Before concluding this video with my opinion, here is a detailed description of the different audio engines integrated into Corel by Oxi Instruments. Virtual analog. Two detuned virtual analog oscillators with continuously varying waveforms. The second oscillator is synchronized to the first. Harm, the tuning between the two waveforms. Timbre, variable square from narrow square pulse to harshing formants. Morph, variable saw from triangle to saw with an increasingly wider notch. Wave shaper, an asymmetrical triangle processed by a wave shaper and a wave bender. Harm, shaper waveform. Timbre, amount of the wave folding, and morph, asymmetry of the waveform. FM. Two sine oscillators modulate each other in phase. Harm, frequency ratio. Timbre modulating index. Morph, feedback in the form of two operators modulating its sound phase. Beyond 12 o'clock, rough, or the phase of operator 1 before 12 o'clock, chaotic. Wavetable. 27 waves are combined and fused to generate the sound. We can import our own wavetables. Harm, timbre, and morph are used to navigate the three dimensions of the wavetable, Z, X, and Y, respectively. MDO. MDO stands for Multiple Detuned Oscillator. Each voice contains 8 detuned oscillators that morph between SAW squared and PWM. Harm, amount of detuning. Timbre, morphing between square and SAW waveform. Morph, square PWM. String. Digital modeling of string resonators. Harm, amount of inharmonicity or material selection. Timbre, brightness of excitation and density of dust. Morph, decay time, energy absorption. Hi-hat synth. Two models of hi-hat mixed together. Harm balance between metallic noise and filter noise. Timbre cutoff of the high-pass filter. Morph crossfade between the two models. Mod DR affects the decay of the inner envelope, which has an overall impact on the amplitude and characteristics of the sound. The amp envelope can be further adjusted with amp DR. Snare synth. Two analog snare drum models are mixed. Harm balance between harmonic and noisy components. Timbre balance between the different sound components of the snare drum, the body and the noise. Morph crossfade between the two models. Mod DR affects the decay of the inner envelope, which has an overall impact on the amplitude and characteristics of the sound. The amp envelope can be further adjusted with an amp DR. Kick model. Two digital kick-based drum emulations are mixed together. Harm sharpness of the attack and overdrive. Timbre luminosity. Morph crossfade between the two models. Mod DR affects the decay of the inner envelope, which has an overall impact on the amplitude and characteristics of the sound. The amp envelope can be further adjusted with amp DR. Quad player. Place any sample of any bit depth, sample rate and length, mono or stereo, from one of the 10 available sample folders. Each voice can have assigned any sample from any folder. In addition, the selection of sample and folders is flexible. Harm, overdrive, timbre, selection of samples, morph, selection of folders. That's it for the detailed presentation of this wonderful model, and to conclude, this is what I think. As for the experience of using the Choral, I have to say I'm impressed. The controls are intuitive and easy to use, making it easy to create interesting sounds quickly. In addition, the sound quality is excellent, with great clarity and sonic versatility. It offers a very large number of functions, and what really surprised me was that within 10 minutes I had everything integrated and was already starting to make music. Here we are not drawn in weird key combinations, it's very fluid and we go fast. Choral is an exceptional model because there are a few of them, finally, which integrate polyphony and multitimbrality. It is perhaps even the only one. It works as a full voice, with envelopes, VCA, filter and effects. With its CV inputs, which give access to all the parameters on the interface, total control over MIDI, Choral does offer a vast universe of possibilities. From the complete title composition, bass, rhythm section, lead, chords, to sound exploration, like sound design. From very big sounds by the tuning the 8 voices using the same audio engine to very detailed things like string sounds, this model is an excellent traveling companion. Ideal in a small system because it's very complete. The elegant Choral is, in my opinion, at ease with larger system for those wishing to broaden their sound palette. Despite intensive use, I did not deplore any bugs. Saving the configuration is a huge plus for those who like to be able to unpatch and recall the configuration. Bravo Oxi Instruments. The possibilities offered by the MIDI management of all parameters coupled to the CV inputs allow great flexibility of use. I was afraid of the gas factory effect, but not at all. Hats off. I really appreciated finding an EQ per part, even basic, for multi-timbre uses, even if I was able to obtain very clean results by making decisions during the composition phase. And that's probably the only fault I find in the module. I'm really in love with this new instrument from Oxi. Here are my cats. We are done for this video presentation of Choral. As usual, hope you learned a couple of things and had a good time. Thanks to Manuel for his closeness and trust, and to you for your attention.